my theory on the greenhouse. You know how Ben was always. Oh, he told Jungsu that he has a little secret hobby. He likes to go around and burn down abandoned greenhouses or forgotten greenhouses. I forgot the word used. I was thinking, like, the second time I watched it, I was like, what the hell is he talking about? What is this greenhouse? And I kind of paid attention more to the actual Korean instead of reading the subtitles. And what he says is, in English, it's translated as greenhouse.
Or it's understood as greenhouse.
As a greenhouse, yeah. So they were in the subtitles, they would say greenhouse. But then in Korean, what he's saying is 비닐집, and 비닐집 literally translates to plastic house. And that got me thinking, like, plastic? What the hell? Maybe that has, some symbolism there. And then another reference to plastic in the movie is one of the first lines that Haimi says is, I got plastic surgery done. And that's one of the most common things in Korean society right now. Men and women getting tons of plastic surgery, almost to the point of, you can't recognize them because they're trying to be someone else. And now I'm thinking, like, was Ben referring to Haimi and girls like Haimi, that he's not burning down literally greenhouses, he's killing these girls.
Well, and that's a you bringing that up is actually a great point, because we're always thinking we're in, because my Korean is not that great, so I didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
But you bringing that up makes a lot of sense, because if you really think about it, Haimi is an abandoned plastic house. Her family doesn't want her. The only person that wants her is Dongsu.
Right.
And and the only reason why I think it, as far as, the whole, killer aspect of Ben, why I think that comes to light is being something, because otherwise, he's a weird guy. I can't stand him. He's a weird guy.
Yeah.
It's great acting, by the way, because you want to fucking hate him so bad.
Interesting. Okay, really quick aside.
Yeah.
I totally understand Rob's perspective on hating the Ben character, because and appreciating the acting chops that it takes, because I had a similar situation when I watched The Color Purple, and I hate it, and it made me hate Danny Glover.
Yeah.
And I grew up on Danny Glover, from especially from the Lethal Weapon series. So I love Danny Glover, and then in high school I saw the movie The Color Purple, when he played Mister, and I was like, I fucking hate Danny Glover right now. It's like that's like the level of that's like the level of acting where you have to appreciate where even though that there is an actor and it's a character that they're playing, it's like it makes you hate the actual person.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen Young, he was incredible. I was blown away.
Yeah, he was spot on.
Yeah.
The only reason why I think why we go to this, definitely to the serial killer aspect of him, is because the girl that he and I don't think we ever get her name, the girl that he is with after Haimi.
Oh, the new girl.
Yeah, we never get her name. We don't really know if maybe she's also very plastic, but the reason why I think that and maybe this is because I do have a fascination with kind of the whole serial killer stuff, because I don't know, maybe that's a white thing, I don't know, because I love Dexter, so yeah, and the whole idea of trophies and all that shit, but it felt kind of the whole the same thing where she had kind of her own melancholy kind of looking for that particular experience, because she was talking about she had gone to China and talking about Chinese culture, and whereas Haimi, she went to Africa trying to do better and try to seek this light, or try to create this light that wasn't there in Africa. Right. And whereas this mysterious other girl that was there after Haimi was trying to do the same thing in China and talking about her experience there, and him and his friends were just kind of yawning and laughing at her.
Right.
And it's just to me that's why I went, it's oh, he killed her, and we see like him like applying makeup to her at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's trying to perfect her before he kills her. You know, it's kind of like because we see like when Young-soo like you know where the mystery really starts in this movie. And I'll admit, yeah, it's a little slow, but it like the build up it's worth it. Like keep going with the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the moment where the movie changes is that scene with all three of them at Young-soo's house.
Yeah.
And after he calls her a whore, essentially. Yeah. And the morning he wakes up is like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And he's trying to reconcile with Hamey because he does love her. Right, and it's like I should never have said that. And so he's trying to reconcile with her, and like finally he gets oh, she's calling me. Good, like thank God. And it's like this weird, like kind of like weird phone call, like, and he's like, hello, are you there? And like it hangs up, and he tries to call her back, and it's like eventually her phone is disconnected.
Right.
So yeah, that's where he goes on the journey to try to find her. But then when he goes to her apartment, right? Like, and her apartment was a fucking disaster. Like, it was very small, but it was a mess.
Yeah.
Just like Young-soo's place is small but a mess.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's pristine. Absolutely
right, immaculate. Everything's in its place, or everything's put away. Things are folded and whatnot. Which goes against what we already know of Hemi. And so like when he talks like the landlady or whatever to let him into the apartment, and you see everything is like spick and span and in its place, it's like this isn't right.
Yeah.
Right, and well, that's what I'm saying. Like, her life's a mess, her apartment's a mess. Makes sense. Her apartment is her, essentially.
Right. It's a mirroring. Yeah, it's a mirroring.
And that's where it's like with a lot of these serial killers that we know, it's like everything has to like be like perfect. Yeah, a lot of them are very like pristine. Like everything's in its place. Everything's very meticulous. Ben is very meticulous. Everything's in its place. Everything has to be neat. And but he also targets these girls who are these quote unquote abandoned greenhouses, right? Mm-hmm. But he wants to make that. He's trying to restore them, make them look pristine, and then bam, kills them. And that's why I go to that direction. Is like with that girl is that this is what happened to Hamey and all those other girls that like when. Earlier in the film, we see Young-soo goes into the bathroom, and he does some exploring. He sees the makeup kit, and he sees all the jewelry. And in his mind, what I'm thinking is like, he's like, oh fuck, Hamey's living here. What? And it's like, and he's like, there's this love triangle. It's like, his heart is broken. Like like my heart was broken for him. It's kind of because I've been there.
Yeah.
And it's like you're living here. It's like, what do you like? What do you like about this guy? He's a fucking asshole. And he didn't say it in so many words. Like, he's a fucking asshole.
Right.
It's like, the guy does not give two fucks about you. Why are you living here? And it's like, oh well, he gives me like the attention that I'm like craving for. It's like I gave you that, I gave you that attention.
This is getting too real for Rob.
Now I'm getting confused. Are you talking about the movie or?
I know, right?
We're going in and
that
out.
part is like that part is like my life. But later on, what we see, like what's revealed, is that Hamey disappears, right? And he goes back, and he's trying to like do some investigating, kind of very low key investigating. And when he goes back to the bathroom, the main thing that connects Young-soo and Hamey is that sports watch that he wins, like that she kind of like manipulated for him to win for her.
Yeah.
And it's just like shitty watch, that he wins, but it's like that was the connection. And when he sees that watch in that drawer, he realizes, oh, that's not her jewelry. These are trophies. These are other girls that he's taken out. And the reason I believe that that's the case is because when we later on, towards the end of the film, we see Ben is doing the makeup of that other girl that that comes after her, who is kind of the same, essentially Hamey 2.0.
Right.
And he's doing the meticulous cleanup, and we don't know what her trophy is going to end up being, but it's like, holy shit, he's killed like what we see. Like we see several dozen pieces
15.
of jewelry or some sort of accessory that he's taken from these girls.
Yeah, like bracelets or earrings or any small trinket that you could probably just like pocket.
And I think he realized that like these were not Hamey. This was not Hamey's jewelry. These were other girls' jewelry that he stole. And
one of many that he's
and so and the whole he kind of and Young-soo in his mind puts all this shit together and realizes like, I have to kill this guy because he's gonna kill all these other. If I don't stop him, he's gonna just keep going. And because he's always talking, because Ben is always talking about like, yeah, nobody knows it. Like I just I attack where no one realizes I'm even there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like and he realizes that like if I don't, and Young-soo realizes that if I don't do something, he's never gonna be caught, because like when he says like, oh, yeah, it's like I looked all around like my areas, like there's no like greenhouses that were burned, but what he was referring the greenhouse, based off of you hearing the Korean that like he was saying, it's like the greenhouse that he was talking about was Hamey. It's like that was the greenhouse that he was gonna like burn down, and he did it.
Yeah, I mean,
and it just after that I was like, oh, it's like, oh god, it's like this is it's fucking awesome, but it's like it just crushed me. It's like, oh,
and that's the beauty about this movie. It just nothing's clear, so you kind of it's all perception,
right? And like that, I could be 100% wrong.
As you were explaining that, I was kind of following along, but then my brain just now went into another theory. What if? Because for some reason when you were talking, I imagine Liam Neeson in Taken.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
And what if Ben isn't a killer? What if Ben is a human trafficker? And he gets these girls who are in debt and who are poor, and like he said, the greenhouse.
Whoa.
Are greenhouses that people forget about. They don't even care. Police don't even care about these things. So if she disappears, police don't care. Nobody really cares. Even her family, when Jung-soo goes to visit her mom, I guess, in that restaurant.
And sister.
And even they said, we don't want her back until she pays off all her debts. So what if Ben is a human trafficker? Maybe he's the guy who lends her money, or his family or something. And now
that's a strong possibility too. I didn't think of it that way.
When you were talking about it, oh shit! It just popped into my mind.
It still makes him a shithead, but it's like,
yeah. I guess that could be possible. Huh.
Yeah, because
technically
even if
that's
Ben
very possible.
Even if Ben killed, or like there's no body that's ever found, like and let's say like the green. What was that?
That could explain why he's so rich. He has so much money because he's
because he traffics. Yeah, because he traffics. Yeah, and let's say like the burning of the greenhouse is somewhat literal in that that's the mechanism he uses to get rid of the evidence. But no greenhouses like within the area were burned down. So yeah, so there's like no body, and there's no like a body's never recovered.
Right. There's no well either.
Right. There's no well. And there's like that scene that could be taken, that at the end where he's like kind of doing up the new girl, that could be taken as him preparing her, kind of in like what I mentioned as, kind of like almost as like a, what Ben was talking about, a sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it could be kind of like in like the Taken kind of sense where he's prettying her up so that he could then bring her out onto the auction stage for bidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah. That is. Wow. That's so good. That's a really good take.
That could explain why he drives a Porsche and doesn't seem to really
yeah,
work.
how that might be how he funds his extravagant lifestyle.
Right. And he says it's once he burns a greenhouse down once every 2 months or so on average. He said.
Uh-huh.
And maybe that's what he means. He finds a girl every other.
Right.
He only needs to make 6 deals.
Because when he went and maybe it's to Africa because he was because he meets Hemi in Africa.
Yes.
Right, because it's why is Ben in Africa? Is he because you could then say oh maybe he's just a world traveler and maybe Africa was on his bucket list, but it's why? But
why did she go to Africa? Why Africa of all places?
I think she explained it because she wanted to go to this one specific tribe. That when she was describing the Little and Great Hunger.
Oh right. Yeah.
Right, but then but it doesn't explain why Ben was in Africa.
Right.